gorgeous bastards. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So production. We're doing it on Monday, September the 5th, 2020. That's right, September the 5th. Man, flying by. Baby boys, baby girls, welcome back. Hope you guys have had a great long weekend. It's still going on for some of y'all out there, depending where you are, what you're doing. It is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Happy giving birth. Happy child rearing, all of it. And it takes all of us to tango. It is Labor Day, What is Labor Day? I don't know too much about it. Something to do with recognition of unions by the government, if I'm not mistaken. People getting unionized. Mass unionization. People forming groups. If I'm not mistaken, it also, Labor Day is also why we've got 8-hour work days. Man, 8-hour work weeks. If there was some bargaining, if there was some, haggling going around for 8-hour work week, and we wound up getting 8 hours a day worth of work, probably got the shorter end of the straw, but that's all right. That's okay. You learn, you make mistakes, and then you do it better next time. So when negotiation comes down next time, we sit down, we're going over the numbers during the day. Man, if there's 8 hours per week, and you go there, you're like, oh, I see your 8 hours per week. I'll try 8 hours a day, and you slide it in there, and they're like, all right, yeah. So, a negotiation, man, it's all about give and take, compromise. And that's what unions are. That's what people, I don't know too much about unions. Never really dabbled. I don't know too much about it. Dabbled very little. It's just like when I was in university, but not even personally. It's just the place that I worked at happened to be under a union of sorts. But it never really helped, to be honest, from my personal experience. Student worker at the time, every summer they cut your hours or tell you couldn't work more than 25 hours, and then they bring in folks from outside the university and then pay them. I think we were at the time making $15 an hour. They bring in people from the outside and pay them $25 an hour without any training, any knowledge of the work. But that's what it was. But that was the union. That was the benefit of the union. So I'm like, oh man, I thought unions were like better. But that's just my experience. That's not everybody's experience. And I don't know. What is a union? It's a gathering of people. It's people coming together. And then you'd bargain on behalf of the people, the workers. That's what it is. I think it represents the workers. That's Labor Day, I think, is about workers. It's about childbirth and workers. Workers who give birth. It's all round labor, working, giving birth to more workers, creating work. That's what Labor Day is all about. So if you're not working today, I get it. If you're working today, I get it. If you're giving birth today, I also get that. If you're not giving birth today because you're like any day but Labor Day, you want to be, it's your way or the highway. I get that as well, and I support it. Thank you very much for all the love and support, by the way, for all the longtime viewers and listeners of the show. You come here, you sit down for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, you chit-chat with your boy, put everything on the table, clear the table, clean the table, spit shine the table, get it ready for the next table. That's what we do around here. Talk about the silly, the serious, everything in between. We go up, down, and sideways too. But you can find these wonderful videos on Instagram, on YouTube, and if you want to support the show in any other format, there's always Patreon. We're always improving, trying to grow, trying to learn, have a little bit of fun. So that's what it is. So thank you for joining me again, and yeah, hit those subscribe buttons on Instagram, on the YouTubes. It helps your boy out, it helps out the algorithm, and that's all that jazz. But what else is going on, man? A lot of things are going on. But yeah, unions. People were, what's a good, what are some good worker quotes that resonate with a lot of people, that, or at least with some people? You have the classic, oh, let unite workers globally. No. Global Workers United. United Workers of the World. There is a saying, there's a nice saying, but it's associated with different things. And you're like, whoa, 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 what are you saying there, Buster? I think it was a good quote. There was a good quote out there. Workers of the world unite. Had a nice ring to it at least. But then, it went sideways, so it didn't pan out too well. I don't know what went wrong. Different things went wrong as things do go. But I think maybe we can learn from everything. There's always, everything's got its, even the worst ideas have some, have a little bit of goodness in them. And its depth, if you look for it, it's there. Yeah. So I'm not down with, you know me, I'm not down with like giving up on private property. I'm all about the private property, right? I'm all about property ownership. Don't own much myself, right? None, to be honest with you, but I am for it. But I'm at the same rate. I'm the type of person who's down with owning property, and also I'm also down with the workers, because I work, you work, we're all workers. 99.9% of people are workers. I can't think of anybody who's not a worker. So when you hear the phrase "workers of the world unite," that's pretty much almost everybody, except maybe excluding babies, which are, again, not pulling their weight, not chipping in, not, but that's just babies. That's, what are you gonna do? You win some, you win some more with babies. So that's what it is, man. But there's some goodness in that. If we could all unite, and I do believe we can all unite, forget about the teams. Lady, bro, lady, bro. Forget about the teams. If we were to all collectively, and it takes steps, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes to me, you, then you talking to the guy next to you and be like, hey, come check out the show. And then, 3 episodes in, we're like, oh, a tight-knit gang growing. And then we can do stuff together, that benefits everybody. I don't know. Maybe I'm a dreamer. Daydreaming, But that's where dreams start, during the day, and then, or maybe at nighttime. Sometimes maybe you're like, no, I only dream in the PM. I don't dream in the, I get it. Or we dream in AM and PM, most of us, because you fall asleep in the PM, and then when you're sleeping, it's AM. So it's a mixed bag of AM and PM. But that's just dreams. And how you decide to divide your time is completely up to you. But that's not here nor there. So let's not, I just say let's all come together and do fun stuff, get silly with it, and have fun, essentially. But, this is, I guess, the last hurrah of summer. Officially Labor Day marks the, it's not over, but you look outside and so in Canada, in Toronto, it's over. Okay, summer's done. I whipped out my jacket yesterday as I went out for my little stroll around the block, and it was nice, man. The city was relatively empty because it's, again, that last long weekend, so a lot of people are, away at cottage country, getting that last bit of skinny dipping in before you gotta bundle up, bring out the hoodies, the sweaters, the gloves, the mittens, double socks, long johns, you name it, we got it here. So enjoy that last long weekend, and then starting, I'm guessing, this week sometime, for most people, at one point you're going to be, if you're going to be sending your kids to school, you're going to be starting, it's a new energy, and I'm excited for this fall. I'm excited for every fall, to be honest with you. It's one of my favorite seasons for different reasons. But yeah, man, if you're going to be, here's the thing, if you got kids and you're going to be sending them out to school and stuff, this is not just, I guess, not just for people who've got kids. If you're going to be going out, it's fall season, but specifically, I guess, geared towards kids or people with kids. Let's have a little heart to heart for a second. Okay, these little your kids are filthy. The kids are filthy. They're disgusting. They're, what I'm talking about is full out. It's that season. Let's admit it. Let's admit a few things so that we're all on the same page. I'm talking snot bubbles. I'm talking dirty lollipops, exchanging hands, dropping on carpets of the school, being brought home again, and just, the cat's rolling over the lollipop half a day. This lollipop's just, picking up everything. Your kids are dirty. Not your kids, but most kids. All our kids. I don't have kids, but your kids. Mostly, they're gonna have one point. What I'm trying to say is that they're gonna have one point get sick, and I know with everything that we've had going on for the past several years, it's a little. Don't worry, your kid's gonna catch a little something. It's gonna be a couple of sniffles here, a couple of sneezes there. Flu season's probably gonna just settle down, relax. You're gonna go through it. We're all gonna catch something at one point or another, and you're gonna nip it in the bud. You're gonna nip it in the bud. Take care of it. Relax. Take it nice and easy. Don't freak out. And yeah, we're gonna be gooch. I just want to send that message out there because I know a lot of people are like, oh, what if this? What if that? Nothing's gonna happen. You're all good. We're all good. And yeah, it's just kids are filthy. That's what it is, and they get the rest of us sick too. But the earlier it happens, the better it is. That's how I find myself, always nipping it in the bud. Catch a little sniffle early on, you're good to go, dude. As a matter of fact, I caught my little sniffle on Friday evening towards Saturday morning, dude. I nipped it in the bud. Friday evening, I know, because that's the thing. I had a long day on Thursday, getting prepared for working, getting prepared for Friday, didn't get to it. Let's just put it this way. I'm at that age right now where I feel it now. If I don't get my proper hours of sleep, and that's one thing, dude. You can go with like no water, no food. Not that I go without water or food, but I'm just saying like the one thing that really I've noticed hits me on my body is sleep. Man, if I go a night where I'm like sleeping on, I'm floating on 4 hours of sleep. That is a no bueno sitch for your boy. That's just what it is, man. I can, I'm in my 30s, but that's what it is, man. Like, if 4 hours sleep is no bueno. No, I'm not. And I caught myself Friday evening after I finished work and everything. It was like 5-6 in the afternoon, just like sitting back down to relax for a few seconds. I noticed myself, dude, the nose was, I'm like, is this, feels a little bit weird. Like, I wasn't sure if it was, because every season, every now and again, I do get allergies. I'm like, is this allergies? Is it just a regular sniffle here and there? But I felt like I'm about to get something's about to go. But that's the thing, I nip it in the bud, baby. What do? I check the medicine cabinet. Oh, everything's expired. Oh, geez, nothing here. But I run downstairs, dude. I get myself a little teeny tiny bottle of Tylenol, pop a couple of pills, night, baby, and you rest, and then you nip it in the bud. If you catch yourself coming down with something, nip it in the bud. Don't be that ultimate warrior with I'm gonna just keep on grinding and going everywhere and just no, dude, just nip it in the bud. Listen to your body. And I'm saying this out loud because I've gotten really good at this, relatively good at this, but I still am the type, I'm still, I like to push myself. And like Thursday night, I stayed up till like 2, just working things out so that I, regardless. But that's what it was on, like, by the weekend. I felt like if I don't take several hours of just like, shut everything off, relax, we're not going to do anything. If I didn't do that, man. But that's the thing. I took that time, recovered. Wasn't even a bit, it might have just been allergies, and maybe it was coupled with a little bit of lack of sleep. But I felt like it's better to take a couple of Tylenols. If it's allergies, no problem. But if it's something, I nip it in the bud, dude. Nipped it right in the bud. No more sniffles, no more, snot bubbles for your boy, no more, just like wiping your snotty little nose on your sleeve. And you're like, that's no bueno. I'm like, I know, but, things happen sometimes. When you're outside, you run out. That's what it is. Nip it in the bud. That's what I'm trying to say. And if your kids get relaxed, nip it in the bud. That's the motto of the day, baby. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. Okay? Don't panic. It's all good. That's what I'm trying to say, man. But it's gonna be an interesting fall. It's gonna be an interesting fall. It's gonna be an interesting winter. A lot of interesting things are happening in different aspects. People are, I'll tell you what, man. It's a really great time to be alive and kicking. Personally, I'm very thankful, very grateful for a lot of things. but I'm still, you know, like many of you guys and gals out there, I'm fully aware of a lot of things. A lot of people are still having, of course, you can tell, man, a lot of people are struggling out there. And all you got to do is just like walk down the street. You're, you know, as I did yesterday, and that's what it is, man. I go for my regular walk in the evening, and I was approaching a intersection close to the old place of residence, and I noticed I had my headphones on, and I'm about to get to this intersection that I cross on a regular. I hear a honking sound, and I hear somebody yelling. But it was a lot of people. The intersection was busy. I couldn't really tell, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to it anyway. But I hear somebody yelling, I hear honking, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Happens all the time. You hear somebody yelling or a honk here and there. No big deal. And I continue to walk down to the intersection. The pedestrian light was red. So I had to stop and wait like everybody else so that the light turns green so we can proceed. But in the meantime, as I was waiting at the intersection, I noticed a van was making a left turn. So the van was heading south, making a left turn. And as he's making a left turn, there is a angry gentleman approaching the car on the street as it's making a slow turn. And the dude just went up to I don't know what happened between the two parties involved, but all I saw and all everybody else saw was this dude jumping in the middle of the street, grabbing the car door handle, trying to yank it open and get the driver to hop out and have a little scrap. And like, he was adamant, and the thing was, I'm like, holy shit. Everybody was like, oh man, it's about to go. Thank God that dude had his doors locked, because the other fella was on foot that fella lost it there, dude. I don't know what happened. I didn't see the whole thing. Like I said, I was just walking by, heard the yelling, a honk, walking down in the intersection, somebody's about to make a turn, and all of a sudden you see somebody approaching a car trying to yank open the door and grab the guy. It was us. And the thing is, like, people were just like slowly like backing away. They're like, oh man, something's about to go down. And this fellow was relentless, the one on the door, the one on the foot. The car slowly drove away or tried to drive off, and it did drive off, and now it's going down a street, but it's like a narrow street. You can only do 20 or 30 in this particular street, and he's slowly getting away. And this fella, he's now pacing, like going after him. He's pacing and going after this car, and it was a scene, man. So that was a little bit of a yikes, a little bit of a, man, you know, we're all doing our best. Everybody's just, you know, stay cool, calm, collected. You got this, lady, fella. And yeah, I hope everybody's taking care of themselves. Is, you know, whatever, man, we can't. Yeah, I know we've had many talks about like mental health and getting assistance and this, that, like, dude, man. Yeah, again, nip it in the bud so it doesn't come to that. And then this goes for everybody, right? Ooh. Oh man, I don't even know what would have happened if that fella had his door open, if he yanked him out, or that fella on the outside looked like he was about to throw it down. And man, thank God that door was locked. And on that same day in the evening, you know, this is obviously a little bit of it's definitely a bummer of a news story. We had I believe, if I'm not mistaken, two individuals in Saskatchewan went out there and stabbed and killed 10 people, injuring 15, it's one of those again, oh man, total bummer. And yeah, I think they're still at large. They're still out there. So, you know, if you see these two fellas, don't approach, but also like call it in. But like, don't call it in front of them. Like, 'cause if you see them, make sure you're safe and then call it in. And also, why is it called that they're at large? Suspects are at large. Where's that come from? What is that? Suspects are at large. They're at large. It's self-explanatory. They're at large. What does that mean? You know, suspects are at large, dude. Doesn't give me, like, you know, yes, I know we've accepted it. Like, it means, what does it mean? It means that they're out there. They're loose. They're loose. They're on the run. They've not been captured. They're out there. But why do we go with that phrase? At large. Go get them if they're at large. You know where they're at. Go get. They're at large. Where are they? They're at large. You know, find large. The answer is large. You know, or they're at large. Oh, they're big. It's not. You know, it doesn't imply that maybe that. Oh, they're big. They're at large. Was it like? Did we have another phrase for it another time? Did it upgrade to at large? Did it small at? No, man, they're at small. They're at small. Suspects are at small. And then eventually with the progress and innovation in crime, you know, suspects are medium, and then now it's, I guess, like, you know, modernity, suspects are at like large. No? I don't know where we got it from. I like it though. It's kind of ambiguous, you know, because suspects are at large. It's captivating. At large, you hear, oh, somebody such and such is at large. You're like, okay, I don't know what it is, but I'm interested. That's what it is, man. But yeah, people are. That's what it's mental health, dude. It's mental health, ladies. So get the help you need, and help each other out. Don't let it come to whatever that is, because that is man. That's, yeah, my heart goes out to the families and the communities involved. I don't know much about it, but it's just one of those, yeah. Oh man, that's, ugh, good God. People need to just chill. But, you know, that's easier said than done, obviously. So, anywho, moving along. A lot of, you know, on another note, on different notes, because we play different notes. We play we dance to the tune of our own music, our own trumpet, our own saxophone, our own flute, our own toot. And that's what it is. A lot of exciting things are happening, man. I'm getting myself, I want to get in, you know, it's definitely my focus has always been, especially like for the past 2 years, it's just been straight up comedy. But one of my passions, one of my little things that I like to do whenever I do get a little bit of time, and not that I do get it's just, I found another beautiful canvas, which I'm now, hamster is turning upstairs. I'm thinking of ideas. I've actually narrowed it down to one. I've already started the small little sketch, and we'll see what it turns into. I'm excited. So I got another painting, which I'm going to be keeping myself busy with for the next, we'll see how long it takes me, but I'm excited for that little bad boy. In terms of other exciting events, oh man, UFC 279 this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, on the 10th, right? Yeah. Oh man, your boy's super excited. That one's going to be epic, dude. Oh, because that's what it is. You got Hamza Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. Now, Hamza Chimaev is, here's the thing. First of all, again, once again, I'd like to reiterate, huge fan of UFC, huge fan of the men and the women who go out there, who put it out on the line, dude. It's exhilarating, and it's really hard for me to be like, pick a fighter to root for, because you're all really excellent. Love all you guys and gals. You're like, oh, excellent. Like stuff that I could never do. Most people can never do. Not that you can't. You know what I mean? Like, you know, set your mind to it. Dedicate your life. You can do anything, but you know, you can't just be like, oh, you know, I'm a, you know. But then again, you can do what you want to do. Is what I'm saying. Is what you guys and gals do out there in the UFC is remarkable. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus. Oh, thing is, every cat is different, and man, everyone's story's different, and I love looking at the stories. Like, I love hearing about it. I like the ups, the downs, the story of the fighter. Because again, I've said this before. I've said it a million times. I'll probably say it till the end of times. It's very relatable because we all have that little fighter in us. You know, different forms of fighters, of course, but that's the epitome or the embodiment of a fighter. It's a real fighter. That's what it is. That's, definition of fighter. You know what a fighter, you're getting, you say fighter, you're getting a fighter. You don't say at large and then you're like, oh, what is at large? It's ambiguous. Not in this scenario. Fighter, you know what you're getting. But these people with the different stories, and like sometimes you get here's the thing, man, I'm excited for this fight because, again, the personalities involved. Hamza love the dude. Don't know much about him, just like I don't know much about any of these fighters really, as much as I know through what I keep up with and what have you. But this, oh man, this guy, you look at him and you see his come up and Hamza is the type of dude that I would never want to fight, and ever. This dude looks like he is a savage. He is a killer. And I know we throw that term around. Oh, this guy's like, no. There are rare individuals out there who, if we were to give them a different timeline in history, just push it back I don't know, video recordings, 100 years ago, 200, these people would, that's the type of dude that if you saw that dude arriving on your shore, that's when you know it's over. That's the type of dude that arrives at your shore and you're like, well, okay, it's done. We had a good run. We had a great run, but now it's this dude's turn. That's the type of dude that runs up, parks the ship, skirt, gets off, and that 100, 200 years, that is that. That's what it is. And I say this with love, respect, admiration, and oh man, good God, scary shit. Oh, just relentless. So I'm excited to see where Hamza goes and what Hamza does. So that's, and I was like, I've looked at this dude, I've been like, like everybody else watching, I'm like, man, what's gonna happen? And every time he goes out there and he, for the most part, dominates. And I've always thought, I'm like looking at him, I'm like, who in this timeline is a formidable match? And oddly enough, and again, like, I actually think this is a really unique fight, and Nate, I think, is, because you'd want that ability to surprise. You want that ability, because with Hamza, that is, what you're getting. You know what you're getting. That, like, so that's the thing. You're getting a straight up killer, like a savage, dude. Just killer savage, okay? But so you're thinking, who's gonna go up against this dude? And many, there are a few people who'd go up, but then like there's somebody like, it takes a Nate Diaz who just like, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight this dude. I'll fight him and his brother. I'll fight a bear. That's Nate Diaz. I'll eat, I'll get up, have my cereal in the morning, go fight a bear, and then we can, warm up with bear, close with a wolf. You know what I mean? That's Nate Diaz. So that's, you got savage killer, and then you got just, I don't know what that, because that, so I don't know which, at this point, the way Nate is approaching it, and the way Nate has always approached it, so I don't know which of these dudes is actually more crazy. And like good crazy, you know what I mean? Like sanctioned crazy, not, what I'm talking about. But, so you look at Hamza, you're like, okay, that is like just murder, And then you look at Nate, you're like, well, this dude just doesn't seem phased at all. Not even the slight, dude. Oh my God, if for whatever reason, if it came down to that, I had to fight Hamza for whatever odd reason, right? World of possibility. I would be just, dude, it'd be diarrhea city. Like, no, I'd be, by the time it's fight time, dude, I'd just be like, I'd be a mess. But then, but that's, again, thank God that's not the case, because good God. I'd clean up, dude. I'd clean up, and I'd probably be like pale as, just like lost a lot of water, just barely holding it together. But that's me in that scenario. That's you do you, and that's what we do together. Takes, all of us to do, baby. the good work. But yeah, so I don't know. At this point, if any, like that's the thing. I would actually. I'm not only feeling. Here's the thing. I actually think Nate has a really great chance. I know you're all like, no, it's just. We'll see. We'll see. But it takes a certain level of. Again, I say this with love. It takes a certain level of cray cray to get into Octa rank and take on a Savage like Hamza and go at it and be like, okay, and that's Nate. And that's why I'm excited for this particular. So I don't, yeah, look at, because that is clear murder, and that is a guy who's like, okay, I see your murder, I raise you murder. You know, you murder, I raise your murder with a murder. That's what it is. So we'll see how that goes, dude. But shout out to all these fellas and ladies for providing entertainment, sports, and overall for MMA, mixed martial arts, sports in general, for being a great pathway and a way to channel your energies out there. If you're out there thinking of doing, channel it, you know, why don't you go out there and, you know, you're like, oh, put your, you know, learn a few things, you know, put your skills to the test, learn a few, you know, so that, you know, that's just sports. That's lovely. I'm excited, dude. It's going to be, EPL's running. EPL's back up and running. The English Premier League soccer's back up and running. Champions League is starting off. That's exciting. Looking forward to those games. I'll try to, you know, I don't have time to sit down and watch full games anymore. That's why UFC's become my number one favorite, because, you know what it is. It's one guy beating up another guy, one gal beating up another. It's short. It's one day. It's one, you know, not a whole. I can't dedicate anymore. We're talking 38 games in a season with your favorite teams in different leagues. That is just a 90-minute. I can't. Love it. I'll watch the highlights. I'll always root for Chelsea. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking do it. But that's the thing. I no longer have the time. With that being said, Champions League is exciting. I like to watch as many of the good games in my book as I can. And also this November, if I'm not mistaken, we've got the World Cup, baby. That's when the world gets together and we just cupping each other. That's what I think it is. Okay, it's called the World Cup Global Cupping season. Okay, lady, fella, we're gonna have a ball together. Literally and figuratively speaking, of course. And it's gonna be a joyous occasion. And then we're gonna cruise on into, man, yeah, we're getting close, baby. That's what it is, baby. The fall is like the little hints that Christmas is right around the corner, and I loves me some Christmas. Can't wait. It's gonna be litty. That's what it is. A lot of exciting things are happening. A lot of exciting things in tech are happening. If I'm not mistaken, I was reading an article which was talking about a CEO of a company now being, that position is now being delegated to an AI. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Chinese company that was doing it. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Chinese company that had decided to select an AI program machine bot to be their CEO of their company. And man, I don't know how to feel about that. This is it, baby. We're rolling. Things are rolling. I don't know which is better though, because you have that, and then you have another company right now in Tokyo, Japan. They've, you know, and this is not just in particular to one place. We're doing it in all different areas, you know, all countries. Everybody's experimenting with different stuff, but it's coming to fruition little by little. But this company in Tokyo in Japan is now implemented these little robot arm machines that are now stacking or restocking cans of beverages in convenience stores, and it can, if I'm not mistaken, restock up to 1,000 cans a day. Just beep bop beep boop, can here, can there. Yes I can. Yes we can. And that's canning it, baby. Jobs are gonna be, man, it's little by little, because the CEO's taking over one company, the workers are taking over another company, like the robot workers, and that's what it is. Soon you're gonna be walking. The beauty of it is I can't wait to see that image of me walking down a pathway or an alley, as I sometimes do, to just, you know, take the city view in. Take the heart and essence of the city. It's in the back alleys, it's in the pathways that are again, you go through these alleys, it's the back area of a restaurant, it's the back area of a convenience store, it's the back area of a flower shop, it's the back area of a bakery or something. And then sometimes you'll see the beautiful staff who are either leaning against or squatting on top of a milk cart and having a drag, having a dart, having a smoke, having a cig, you know? But soon that beautiful scene is either going to be merged with, so you'll have those beautiful fellows and ladies just taking a drag, and then it'll also be accompanied by just a robotic arm, dude. Just, you know, a robotic arm with a little bit of AI, enough to restock and what have you, also enjoying a smoke, you know? So that'll be nice. And then eventually eventually I'm thinking, you know, if this is the rate of, you know, merging with tech, or rather incorporating tech into our data, 20 years from now, I'm guessing when you walk down an alley, you're gonna see a whole bunch of bots in the back just, you know, squatting and smoking, pondering what it means to be alive, thinking, breathing, existing. And I wonder what they're gonna be thinking about. They're probably gonna be thinking about, man, I wonder if there's more to life than just stocking beverages, and, you know, I wonder if there's more. I wonder if we can get somebody else to do it, and then it'll be a whole thing. We'll get them to do our work, they'll get sentient, and eventually it'll be like, yeah, fuck this, they can do their own work, or somebody else, and then they make their own. It'll be a thing, but it's coming little by little. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel, you know, in the moments that it's, in terms of making things easier, I'm all for the ease. If it can make life easier, do it. But at the same rate, I do think we definitely need to somehow figure a way out to, you know. But that's what I believe. I believe most people hopefully will, I don't know, maybe this is wishful thinking, but I think this advancement in technology will allow more people to be kind of doing their own thing. And yeah, I think traditional methods of doing things, a lot of things can be learned and still kept, but perhaps I think this is the evolution period of work again. We're seeing a lot of tech being incorporated into a lot of things. So yeah, this is a little bit of tech, dude. I'm excited for it, but at the same time, man, if they get smart, dude, and you know they will, there's gonna be back talk, dude, from a robot. Oh, and it's smart, and it's snappy, and it's fast, and it's quick, and it's on its toes. Just little robotic toes. Smoke in one hand, restock in the other. Like, it's a whole thing, man. It's exciting. Can I own one of these arms and send it out? Like, that's what it is. Because if you can own one of these arms, I'd be like, yo, I'm just going to send out my arm to work. You know what I mean? Yeah, work is, yeah, like what's happening to like general work, and like a lot of things are still going to remain the same, and it's going to be but again, it's neat, it's interesting to think about the progression of this and how far it's going to go, it's interesting to think about these stuff, because man, the present is the future, and the future is interesting, fellas, ladies. Man, oh man, what else is going on? A lot of things are going up, a lot of things are going down. Been reading about you know, it's definitely interesting times, and you never know. You read different things, you hear different things in terms of where we're at, how people are preparing for, you know, the current times, what is to come. You know, it's a little bit uncertain in a lot of ways, but it's a lot of excitement too, because there's a lot of possibilities. And if we can avoid the, you know, self-inflicted wounds, we can have a blast going through this life, which is pretty amazing for the most part. You know, and what I'm trying to say is that I read an article. Let's just get to it. I read an article, and it was like about preppers and doomsday preppers, and how like billionaires are, you know, going off to different places in the world and equipping themselves and trying to facilitate themselves with enough resources and manpower to potentially prepare for a, you know, worst case scenario sort of situation. But that's the thing, you talk to, And when it comes down to it, after reading the article, when it comes down to it, my personal takeaway from it was that I don't even think you can prepare for these certain scenarios. Because first of all, unless again, if it's not self-inflicted, and if it's self-inflicted and you're in the very, very feet, like the smallest circle that is aware of any potential, uh, you know, events that might take place, that's potentially the only way. But if it's like a natural disaster sort of thing, or even, because natural disasters, if they hit, it depends. There's so many variables that the whole concept would be for you to be able to isolate yourself and I guess be sustainable. But man, that's the thing. You're trying to prepare for the unpredictable, And with that mindset, and I don't get that because that's just like too much energy spent, I think, on, that's like, oh, I want to spend a ton of money and resources on something that'll most likely not take place. And even if it did, whatever measures you've taken are probably not gonna, if it's to a magnitude that it's like affecting everybody or a large portion of the population, that's, no matter how much padding or cushioning you put around yourself, I don't think you can isolate yourself. And that's the thing, even in isolation, like that thing that people rely on mostly is other people. It's human interaction, it's communities, it's people. Hence, global united workers of the workers globally get together and do stuff, So there's power in people. That's what that is. Whereas if you were, if everybody, let's say hypothetical, flood comes, everybody drowns, you're in your little, you got a submarine, dude, and you're in your submarine, and everybody drowns, but you're in your submarine. Guess what? You're the only person left in your submarine. What are you gonna do? You're, live a little bit longer, but that's it. Unless you got other people in there with you, and that way you can procreate, and that way, man. But that, like, you know what I mean? It's just a whole lot of things that you got to consider. Like if you have blackouts and like money becomes useless because banking shuts down, electricity's off for God knows how long, if the grid goes out or what have you. Like if there's no more use of money, it's really people that are valuable, not, because you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you this much money to do this thing for me in this dire situation. They're gonna be like, no, because I'm gonna have to save me and mine, and I don't care for money because money's no bueno now. Or but that's just, it just led me to think about, I guess how we could do more together, if that makes any sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that I read that article and I'm like, man, people who think they can isolate themselves and buy themselves security and safety, with money and resources, and that, placing themselves inside little bubbles to essentially save themselves while everybody else is like on the outside it's weird. It's weird. I don't get that, dude. If that's the thing, man, I guess, ooh, man. A lot of things to think about, a lot of, it's an exciting time to be alive. I personally, if it goes down, whatever goes down, you just take it at that situation, just go with it at that time. Nope, that's, because your boy doesn't have, like, I don't have, a lot of people don't have, like, you don't have, resources to be like, I want to, like, stash this much food in my compound, I'm gonna, like, get this and get that. I'm like, I'm pretty, like, if anything were to go down, I'm bare boning it. That's like essentially it, which is a scary thought, but better than having to like live a life where I was like, oh, I gotta prepare for the unknown, and who knows what, because I've seen documentaries of like people who are like, and there's different levels to this too, right? There's like the high-tech billionaire class of doomsday preppers who go and buy massive compounds underground, this, then it's like a 5-star hotel. And then there's like different levels, and then there's this guy who I saw him, he had this piece of land, and on this land were maybe, I don't know, a large quantity of old school buses, and he had this excavator. He excavated a portion of the land, he put all the buses in and did a little bit of welding and took off the sides, took off the roof, this, that, and the other, and then like connected all the buses and made this underground shelter that was, I guess, uh, built with, combining earth and metal from school buses. And basically, it was just him and his wife in this place, and his wife was not into it at all, but like she was still like supportive of him doing that. So she was supportive of her husband, but you could tell, be like what are we doing here in the middle of nowhere, living under buses and in the depth of the earth, like mole people for a potential whatever. So that's a whole lot. I can't dedicate. That's the thing. I can't dedicate myself to those. So like, I live life, baby. I can't do that. Like whatever that is. I respect it though. I respect it. I get it. I don't, but I do. You know what I mean? Like not for me, but I notice how people are interested in different things. And somebody, if you've got everything, you're like, man, let's go out there and doomsday prep. Got nothing else to do. Do it. That's life. Sip to everybody out there. What else has been going on, man? What else has been going on? A lot of things are going up, a lot of things are going down, as per usual. I'm feeling good, not gonna lie. Feeling good, feeling great. Anything else interesting that I've heard or read or seen? Oh, I saw Sam Morrill's stand-up special on Netflix. Man, love great stand-up. That's what it is. I'm just gonna say that, and I get super happy for people doing amazing things. And yeah, go ahead and check that special out if you've not seen it. There's so many people dropping specials, so many great specials out there that I want to watch more of them. It's just again time management, and yeah, I get super happy for people, and especially like comics that are doing it on different levels that I look up to in different ways. That's one of my dudes, man. Shout out to Sammy's killer from New York, doing it big. And what else, dudes, ladies? If I'm not mistaken, a lot of news last week. I guess it's a little bit of it came up a lot of times that Leonardo DiCaprio broke up with his 25-year-old girlfriend, and everybody was jumping on it. And I saw it, I'm like, okay, whatevs. How do we balance this out? I thought about it for a hot second, and the way we balance it out is that more women reverse that. And I'm talking about, we need more cougars to go out there and basically pay it forward, like Leo's been paying it forward, helping out 20-year-olds, females. Somebody needs to do that in the female category. The only other people that I can think about that, who's doing that, who's been helping out, Madonna maybe. She's been helping out a lot. That's what it is. It's just about helping everybody out. That's what I see. That's what I say. Because it's so easy to be like, man. People like to equate everything with everything. It's like, again, you read articles or you hear things like, why doesn't he date somebody his own age? Why would he? Why should he? Why does it have to? And it comes from the same people that are like, oh, love is love, down with the patriarchy, love is love, and that's, I don't see any, as long as that's the thing, that's like, yeah, I don't see any problem with that. In terms of him dating somebody younger, they're in their 20s, they're both, it's not like they're, yeah, as long as it's legal and as long as it's like normal, no harm, no foul. That's what that is. In terms of why don't more women choose not to go out with him? You know what I mean? Because like I think it's certain things are obvious. It's like he's a fellow, he's a famous fellow, influence, power, money. You could say looks, you know. Um, so why wouldn't women, young women, be attracted to him or want to date him? I'm sure there's a ton of perks. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's, and you know where you're getting yourself into something. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing in terms of, and again, I don't know the deets of anybody's life or anything, but it seems like everything gets equated to everything. You read articles, oh, it's time to break the patriarchy. It's just, I'm tired of hearing these phrases just like blatantly thrown out there. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like me saying, let's break the matriarchy. It's like, don't you have a dad? Didn't you come from, like, you know what I mean? It's not, everything's not so black and white. There's the, clear, like, there's the Epsteins of the world, or the Weinsteins of the world, and then there's a successful fella who dates younger women. Not the youngest, but they're in their early 20s. That makes sense. I get it. Like, I don't get it because I'm not in that position. But I could say, that's the thing. It's just, yeah. I think why it happens so much is because there's a lot of women who are attracted to that. I think they know full well that, like, what they're getting into, I guess, is, I think it's like when you're dating somebody like that, I think it's like you're probably getting a bunch of, free rides, free trips around the world, watches here, cars there, who knows, whatever you want to do. I'm guessing it's, covered. And your thing is, you go out there, you hang out, you put in a couple of good sets, you bang out a couple of nice sets. You get a picture of, Leo or anybody else one day, you'll get those pictures of them walking on the beach with a cigarette or a drink, just like living, and then their partner at the time is in the background. We need to see more of that in reverses. More females who are in their 40s or 50s need to be also willing to open up their, not just, open up your hearts, open up your minds, your wallets, perhaps legs. That probably is a whole package deal, to younger men, because that's the only way I see how this would just be a fair trade, or a fair transaction, or a fair relationship. I don't know where I'm going with this. I've had something with this thought, but it just, it's like, oh, why doesn't he date somebody his own age? And the person writing that article is like, it's not going to be you. Let's just put it that way. It's, oh, why doesn't he date somebody his own age? It's not going to be you. Whoever, the people writing those articles, it's not going to be you. So let's, wow. He's been working since he's like this big, dude, in Hollywood, and it looks from, again, I don't know the fella, but from the look, he looks fairly normal, and as normal as celebrities are. I'm sure, again, don't know much about him, love his movies, most of his movies, in terms of, politics, what they do with the grain movement, this, that, and that. I don't care about those things. Further, like, but it just seems, that's all I wanted to say really about that. I think I wanted to formulate some sort of a joke in there, but I don't know if it worked or not. You know what I mean? Because that's, you need a bunch of cougars to just be like getting like young men, and like, that's how we solve, you can solve a little bit of student debt problems these days. Man, you need more rich ladies essentially just, going in there, finding like 23, 24, 25-year-olds, and then you can see the female version of that. You can see like a female version of like, just a lady who was, a looker back in the day. Now she's in her 40s, 50s, still got, the framework is there, but now you can see that, the belly's coming out, the toes are, it's a situation happening down there, and maybe they're having a drag, just scratching and having a drag, and in the background you could see some like dime piece fella who's well taken care of for a few years. And that's the thing. It's like, what have you done, person who's writing these articles and saying salacious things about one of our most beloved actors out there? Can we? That's not everything needs to be equated with like that's my thing. That's my thing. Balance. Not everything needs to be equated with leave Leo alone. If he wants to go and have relations with mid-20-year-olds consensually, they know what they're getting into. Okay? That's what I think. And again, to counter that, I'd like to see more cougars, given back, essentially. That's what I'm saying. How do you all feel about it? Is it a thing to even have a feeling about? Probably not, right? That's what I'm talking about, baby. It is Monday. We're rocking and rolling. We're tweaking. We're twerking. And remember, a wise man once said, try to remember as many things as he said, it's better to have queefed once than have to never queefed at all. A queef saved is a queef earned. Once a queefer, always a queefer. What queefs around, queefs round and round and round. Don't look a gift queef in the mouth. Yeah, those are a bunch of, different wise men saying wise stuff, and it's good to take note. Here and again, I try to open up my ears and my heart and my soul to it all, as much of it as I can. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think moving forward, it's time that we put away the silly team mentality of it's in the past. Okay, no more. Yeah, things that I don't want to be seeing moving, or I want to see less of it. I just want to so that we get more better conversations overall. Enough of this patriarchy, this matriarchy, that. Enough teams, okay? We've had enough of those guys versus ladies. I hate that shit. I love guys and I love ladies. It's just about respect for everybody equally. You don't need to be in teams and be like, oh, the men have done so many wonderful, great things. Men on a daily basis. You know so many great men in your life, probably. If you don't, to look around. And same with ladies. Ladies are wonderful. Those types of arguments and storylines, those are the same. Anytime you find yourself hearing something or reading something that is creating division, think about that for a second. Just think about it. Oh, it's like this team, the left team, the right team, the men, the women, black, white, Asian, European, this, that, tall, short, this, that. Forget about all that stuff. 2023. We're going to be going in with good energy. Everybody's going to be uniting. And we're going to be passing around everything. I'm talking everything. We're going to be sharing everything. I'm talking needles. No, wait. Pox. Chickenpox. No. Monkeypox, dude. No, wait. I get excited. I get into sharing mode. And no, we're not going to share needles. Unless there are other applications for the needle, and we're not talking about intravenous drug use. A needle for your record player, sharing a needle on the record player, as record players do play out there doing it. You know what I mean? Saying things with a needle. Skirt that. That's what it is. It's all love. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the love and support. It's an ongoing journey, is what it is, and we're learning and we're growing. And we're doing it one day at a time. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Again, I'll be back here on Wednesday. You can find these videos on Instagram, on YouTube. Check out Patreon. Talk about it. And see y'all very soon. Love y'all. Peace.